In the following few videos, we're going to actually open up a couple of different digital audio workstations and talk about the various features that they offer you and how limitations or total freedom can be used to your advantage when you want to make music. So I'm not making these videos to say that one program is a lot worse than the other, rather just that they're very different but also very similar, because you'll notice that the core features you need to make music are actually available in any digital audio workstation you download. It's just a matter of how limited you're going to be within those features. So in my opinion, the major difference between digital audio workstations isn't so much one between the different commercial applications or the different freeware applications. And specifically with this course, since we're dealing almost exclusively with plugins and we're all going to be using the same samples, the different digital audio workstations that you choose to use, especially if they're commercial, it won't really matter. I should be able to go into your studio, and if you're using the exact same plugins I'm using, I should be able to make music relatively easily. The real difference between the commercial applications is what you get built in. So what are the different effects? What are the different instruments? How many samples do you get? And then it can be kind of confusing if somebody's only using the stuff that's built into Logic as compared to somebody who's only using stuff built into Ableton Live. It would take me a lot longer to kind of figure out the different workflows and those different instruments as it would if I was using all plugins and we were using the same sort of thing. So the difference is really in the freeware and the commercial applications specifically for this course, because with freeware, what you'll find are a lot of limitations that come in different shapes and sizes. This is mainly due to the fact that these applications almost always offer a paid version that unlocks these limitations for you. So maybe it's you have a limited number of tracks, you have a limited number of plugin slots, you can't do multi-track recording, maybe they don't really have a send and return structure, or things are already hardwired and built into the program, like we're going to see when we go into GarageBand in the next video, that they already have some effects that are just kind of hardwired in that you can't change, and you can't really change the ordering of them either. So those are limitations, but in some ways those can actually be very good, because if you only have room for 5 different plugins, for example, if you've done 5 plugins and you've done your effects processing, there's nothing else you can do. You have to move on to the next thing. So it kind of keeps the ball rolling. It helps you not get stuck in a rut just obsessing about one particular sound. Also, with the top menu, you'll usually find that the options you're allowed to click on are really the very important options, like setting up your audio interface, exporting, things of that nature, as compared to in other programs where you have like hundreds and hundreds of menus where you can customize everything. That's great if you're a professional and you know what you're looking for specifically, but if you're just starting out and wanting to make music, that can really get in your way. So with the commercial programs, they're really wide open. You can customize them however you want. You can record as much as you want. You have unlimited tracks, unlimited instruments. You can route the audio all over the place, this, that, and the other, which is absolutely fantastic. And for this course, it's fairly important to have that feature set, but it comes at the cost of having too many options. And a lot of times with these programs, when you open them up for the first time, you just don't know where to start, because you're looking like, okay, how do I configure my audio interface? Where do I go for that? You're clicking through 80 different things and struggling to find it. And so that's where working in the commercial program right off the bat can sometimes get you into a little bit of trouble and can be very frustrating. So we're now going to transition and go into our 2 examples. We're going to look at GarageBand. We're going to look at Bitwig Studio, only because those are the 2 programs that I have installed on this computer where I make the videos. I actually haven't used GarageBand in like 8 or 9 years. It's the first time I opened it on this computer. So it was kind of an interesting, humbling, and yet very creative experience for me to open that up. And I'll be talking about that in a little more depth. But just as an FYI, if you're confused when I'm going through some of the different DAW feature sets and things that are included or not included, I've really covered all of this already in the 101 course, and you can go into that course where we're working with Soundation and Audio Tool, and so you shouldn't be as confused. In a lot of ways, Soundation and Audio Tool are just as powerful, if not more powerful, than the programs we're going to be looking at. So don't think because they're web-based browser applications that they're not powerful programs. That could not be further from the truth. So without further ado, let's go into GarageBand.